Welcome to the Power Hour with me, Gene. Do you want to be more productive and achieve your goals? Do you want to find your passion and live with purpose? Do you want to make a profit and enjoy your success? Then you need to listen to the Power Hour with me, Gene.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. This is episode 5 of the Power Hour with your boy, Mean Gene. I'll be hosting today's show, and we got a good one for you today. This one is called Turning Passion into Profit. So welcome. I got a question for you guys. Are you tired of living a life separated into distinct boxes, mostly work and play? Do you dream of monetizing your hobby and creating a career that brings you joy and fulfillment? If so, you're in the right place, for this podcast is all for you. We're going to explore like 15 different ways to transform your beloved hobby into a thriving business venture. So get ready to ignite your creativity, boost your confidence, and learn the practical strategies to make your dreams a reality. Let's turn your hobbies into a business, one innovative idea at a time. So we're just going to get right into this episode. I'm really feeling it because I've been there. I've done my passion for years, but never really focused on trying to make it a profit. It turned into like a little hobby. I love writing, and I ended up just writing, but never really focused on how can I monetize this talent that I have. And then a little fear crept in, like, okay, well, I'm not as good as these people that I look up to. My favorite poets from the 20s and the 30s, I felt like I couldn't compete with them. But then in around 2023, I said, screw all that. I'm just going to just write all the content that I have that's like stuck in my head that I've always been writing. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's an entire different world once you start putting your talent out there. I'll let you know that I used the Power Hour last year in 2023, and I was able to create a ton of content, getting ready to showcase the talent that I'm doing right now. And one of my goals was to always, do a little podcasting and monetize that as well. I've had little podcasts where, you just record a few episodes and send them out to a few friends, but never thought about actually doing brand deals and commercials and doing a video format of it and putting the podcast into different languages and also a ton of different platforms. All these things were just like not the main focus until recently. I was able to turn my little passion into profit. And you are watching this episode is not about me. It's about you. So let's run through these 15 ideas. Let's look into these 15 ideas, how you could turn your passion into a profitable venture. So number 1 is something that I used to create a brand new level of productivity that I never thought was possible. It's the name of the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Power Hour, is where every day you take out 1 hour and you follow your passion. And for me, it was writing. For you, what is that? Whatever it is, if you can dedicate 1 hour a day to it, I'm telling you, by the 100th hour, you'll be almost a master at that thing. 365 hours in 1 year dedicated to one craft that you decided to work on is a monumentous moment, because the products that's going to come out of there, the ideas, the innovation, it's really amazing what you can do with just 1 hour a day. And listen, it's not easy. There's life going on. There's a lot of things that's happening. There's things that you have to take care of, work, family, friends, But if you can find a way to get that hour in there, trust me, you're going to take your whole business to another level. And if you can't get all that 1 hour every day in, it's okay to do it 2 times a week or 3 times a week. It's best to at least get 5 hours in there. So we're talking about some 300 hours dedicated to your craft. Now, the only way to get that 300 hours is to every day figure out how can I squeeze 1 hour in there to do something that I'm passionate about. And if you're passionate about it, you're going to find a way to do it. And if you can get most of it done, my friend, then you can start thinking about what I'm thinking about, which is turning that passion into profit. All right, that was a little long-winded, but that was the number 1 thing you need to do. Find 1 hour a day to focus your stuff. Now that we got that out the way, you want to stick to your day job. That's number 2, at least for a while. You want to start small while you're still employed. Now, I've made this mistake before. I've started a business where my mistake was I needed 90% of that money to go to getting customers. And doing it that way, my friend, I'm telling you right now, is the wrong way. So if you've never heard it before, please keep your day job and use that power hour until you can make that switch. That was number two. Number three, you want to get a gut check. You want to ensure that the passions align with your business idea. You can't just have a hobby and all of a sudden say, you know what, I'm going to go try to make millions of dollars off of this hobby. No, my friend, you have to analyze the situation. You have to make sure that the passion that you have is something that can grow into a business. You want to start small. The next one is find your market. You need to identify your target audience. Now, this one's a little tricky where you have to create what's called an avatar. Who is that customer? So they can be attracted to the idea that I'm creating. And you have to do the same thing. Whatever your passion is, you got to find out, where are these people? What do they like? What do they look like? What do they sound like? Create an avatar. You have to say something like, okay, I'm looking for the target audience. This person is 29 years old. They don't have any children yet. They live in New York. They work with this much money. They work with that much money. And they drive this particular car. They have free time doing this, and this is what they do. You need to know all that stuff. And once you do, you can talk to that one person every time you talk. Find your target market. Next, you want to test the concept. Validate your idea before investing heavily. This is something you can easily do just by doing a couple of online surveys or just talking to friends and family, or just really looking at your own products and services and see if it's something that's actually worth putting the time into it. Because when I say putting the time into it, that also involves money. And you want to make sure that the money you're putting into your product is actually going to be worth it. Let's move on to the next one. You want to write a business plan. Outline the goals, the strategies, and the financials if you can. Now, writing a business plan takes a little bit of time. There's possible ways where you could just write a 1 to 5 page business plan. It doesn't have to get super detailed. It just has to help you guide you to where you're going in the future. Once you have your business strategy going, you have your business plan, you need to get the price right. Balance profit and customer appeal. Now, whatever you end up charging your customers, make sure it's the right price, because you don't want to outprice the market by saying, I made this for $99 and now I'm going to sell it for $4.99. Okay, you can't really do that yet. You want to stick to your 30%, 25%, 60% profit margin, depending on what you make. If it's a digital product, more power to you. You can raise that profit margin up a little bit. You have to make sure that you find the right channels. Choose the effective marketing and sales platforms. Now, this does take a little research, but you'll be able to find exactly what marketing channels you want to use and what's the best way to start creating sales and using those type of platforms. Number 9, keep good records. Organize finances and operations for growth. Now, I firmly believe in, if you can measure it, you can expand on it. If you know what your numbers are, such as your KPIs, which is your key performance indicators, once those numbers start moving a certain direction, then you know how to move them even further. And that's how you know your hobby is slowly turning into a profitable business, because you know what your numbers are. These are some of the things where you actually have to study them. You have to learn how to become them. Sometimes numbers are not second nature to a lot of people. Think of the music industry. There's a lot of talented artists out there, but they sign some weird record deals where they don't make that much money. They don't have their lawyers look over the numbers and the details, and they just sign away all their rights to their music. That's one example of not knowing your numbers, not knowing your industry, not knowing your own value. Next is, you want to perfect your elevator pitch. This scenario is where you craft a compelling and concise introduction to your idea. We do the same thing here at the Power Hour. The whole concept is to use 1 hour a day to create some magnificent results. And I have my elevator pitch. Elevator pitches are like 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 seconds of you telling the customers or the potential investor exactly who you are, what you do, and how you make a profit. Next is very important. Number 11, you want to create a web presence. Establish a professional online platform. And next is, get the word out. Promote your business through various channels, not just one channel. You do have to find out where your customers are and stick to it. Try not to get caught up in trying to expand to different channels without knowing each channel's first, such as trying to do something on TikTok is not going to be the same results if you try to go do it on YouTube. Trying to write a blog for Google might not be the same thing if you try to write it for Facebook. Two different types of platforms with two different types of audiences, but at the end of the day, you're still trying to sell the same product. Find your customers. Speaking of which platforms to go to, you have to identify where they are, engage with them, and stick to your target market. Do not become one of those people that just sell everything to everyone. No. Remember, we spoke about creating your avatar. Find out who they are and sell directly to them and let that market expand. All right, the last is develop a marketing strategy. Build a comprehensive plan that's going to help you grow. And there you have it, folks. Turning your hobby into a business venture requires careful planning, strategic thinking, and a passion that burns bright. Remember to start small, validate your idea, and get your pricing right. Keep good records, perfect your elevator pitch, and create a web presence that shines. But most important, find your customers, develop a marketing strategy, and never stop striving for growth. With these steps and these key takeaways, you'll be well on your way to transforming a beloved hobby into a thriving business. Thanks for joining us on Turning Passion into Profit. Keep chasing your dreams and making them a reality. I always end with a nice little note from our AI personality, and he's going to get into some other ways for you to turn your passions into profit. Once again, my name is Mean Gene, and this is the Power Hour. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next week.
So, you finally found a hobby that you love to do. You even do it for free during your downtime. But recently, people, such as friends and family, have been noticing your work. Or you have a skill that people seem to always ask your help in. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it might be time to take that hobby to the next level. With a little bit of planning, one day your hobby can become a moneymaker. But how does one go from doing something on their spare time into a career? Well, I'm glad you asked. There lies a huge opportunity to showcase your talent and get paid for it. But when is the right time? Let's dive in. First, research the market. Use surveys, evaluations, and file information to understand consumer needs, tastes, preferences, and profile. At this phase, you can decide if it's even worth it to expand into a new market. Next, make a plan. Create a business plan that outlines your business's current state and your goals. At this phase, you have decided it's a go, and you have done all your research and are now creating an attack plan. Next is build your brand. Building a brand requires hard work, dedication, and passion. 3 things you already have. But will it be enough to carry you on to your first sale and more? Next, you can create and maintain a website, social media profiles, and wear it, like a heart on your sleeve. Meaning, people are starting to know you for your talent or product that not too long ago was just a hobby. Once established, you need to put a little money behind your idea. Market your business. You can market your business by wearing your brand, such as by wearing a t-shirt with your company branding. You can also market your services to friends and family, where it all started. At this phase, you will need to do more research on the type of marketing that fits your brand, style, and schedule. Make the time to do this crucial step, as you still might have a full-time job. Organize events. If your hobby is community-oriented, you can organize small meetups, events, or conferences related to your hobby. This is the phase where you no longer fear success or failure. You are putting yourself out there. One of the hardest things to do is getting out of one's comfort levels or zones. One form of marketing we recommend is getting a team to help with is blogging or podcasting. Other options include you can write an ebook, or my favorite idea to showcase your stuff is starting a YouTube channel or teach a course online. In the 21st century, you cannot gain a following of fans and customers without word of mouth or building an online presence. Here your business is actually real, and you must create and maintain a website, social media profiles, and everything else that goes into branding yourself as a professional. Lastly, since this hobby is part-time, you also need to keep it fresh, and content writing is considered one of the best ways to reach the customer base in digital marketing. Remember, it all starts with a decision. Will you go and get it, or be part of the 80% of the nation that never try? You never know, your little hobby might one day replace your job's income. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
Thanks for tuning in to the Power Hour with Mean Gene. You've been inspired and motivated by Mean Gene. You've gained wisdom and secrets from Mean Gene.